Kiara, good evening. This is Mary Joseph. I'm a licensed immigration advisor with HIV Global. I'm coming live from Hamilton. It's a nice and I'd say it's a very wet day. It's been raining and it stopped raining, and it's been a very pleasant day for us here in Hamilton. We hope that all those who are coming in and going to join this session are safe, because I know for the current situation in many parts of the world is still not yet stable with the situation. While in New Zealand, we have also had some cases, rise. We have gone up to, I think, about 200 odd active cases at this stage. There is a bit of what do you say, community transfer, and because of which Auckland has been under lockdown, a level 3 lockdown. That means, schools are shut and public places are shut, and people are working from home. However, I think it is expected that the lockdown will be lifted on Monday. The government is working on contact tracing and a couple of other things. So yes, so we are still working on the elimination plan, where they're trying to keep the numbers low and so to avoid more and more community transfer. Right. So before while we wait for people to join in, we will talk a little bit about the current scenario, especially with visas. That is essential skills work visas. That's our topic today. So we will talk about essential skills and what does it mean and what are the criteria for that, while we wait for the rest of the viewers to come in and start asking their questions. So also please bear in mind, this session has been set to this time. It's 3:30 New Zealand time in the afternoon, is because we would like to address and talk to people based here within New Zealand. However, if you're not if you're not based in New Zealand and you're based offshore overseas, I'm more than happy to answer. But then I will be giving priority to questions and queries for people that are based within New Zealand. Or you can always take my details and then what do you say, call us directly at our office here in New Zealand if you would like to discuss a one-on-one with us, right? So what are essential skills work visas? So one of the most important or main categories of work visas within New Zealand is called essential skills work visa. So this is basically all those who are skilled at different skill level will be offered a work visa, granted a work visa if you meet certain criteria. Sorry, guys, I just missed one very important thing before we start getting into more details. Is my license. It's very critical that we do show and prove that we are a licensed immigration advisor before providing immigration advice. So that's my license card, and my number is 2018011050, which you can go up on the Immigration Advisors Authority website and cross check, right? So before, and now let's get back to what we were talking. So it's about essential skills work visa. So it is granted for those who migrants who are in New Zealand or who would like to come here and work in New Zealand for certain skill levels. However, the most important aspect of an essential skills work visa is for an employer to hire a migrant only when there are no New Zealanders for that position. So when you're applying for a job, when you're applying for a visa, Immigration New Zealand is going to be keen and will not make any exceptions on one aspect, is that there were no New Zealanders, to prove and provide evidence that there were no New Zealanders. So when an employer is making genuine attempts to employ people in a certain position, it is important that he first considers New Zealand residents and citizens for that role. It's very important. Okay. And if he or she was unable to find someone who's a New Zealander with a New Zealand resident visa or a citizenship, only then he can go ahead and hire a migrant and sponsor them for an essential skills work visa. Okay, so it's important. So as such, you can work anywhere in New Zealand if you've got an open work visa. But if you would like your employer to support you with a visa and you would like to apply for a visa, more than likely you will fall under this category of visas, which is the essential skills work visa. Right now, that's one aspect. Important aspect is to show that the employer has made a genuine attempt. Now, how that, you will have to discuss this on a one-on-one basis with your advisor. If you're working with us, we can assist you and guide you to understand, also we also talk to the employers and try and understand what efforts they have made, because I think it's a lot of times people have a notion about essential skills, saying that, oh, they will place an ad and things like that. It's much more complicated than that. Okay. It's not straightforward just placing an ad and applying for a work visa. The attempts must be genuine. And if at all in those attempts the employer is able to find a New Zealander, then it make up, then that means that the job offer is not genuine. Okay, so there are a lot of things to it. So it's important you work with an advisor when you're applying for this category of work visa, to analyze and see where you stand, whether you do have a chance or not. Now, the other second important aspect is the salary. Okay, there was a recent change in the salary. I think last month, yeah, it was on the 27th of July, where Immigration New Zealand has removed the relevance of ANSCO. ANSCO is basically the list of occupations that Australia and New Zealand follows. So there was, say, suppose you're a particular job role, it matches to a certain ANSCO occupation, but that relevance has been removed now. It doesn't really matter in what role you are in. However, what matters is your salary. So the median salary in New Zealand is expected to be 25.50 per hour, which is the average median salary that you would be offered. And if you are getting a salary of 25.50 and above, then you will be considered for a 3-year work visa. Okay, so it is important that the salary also meets that requirement. Earlier there were two different levels and things like that, and there were skill levels 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. So now there's no complications. It's simple as that. It's if you've got a 25.50 and above salary, or 25.50 itself, then you could be considered. It's not that you'll be granted straight away. You could be considered for a 3-year work visa. Now if you are and also please remember, this 25.50 is important because this is the same salary threshold also for the skilled migrant category. So it is very important to hit that 25.50 salary if you are looking at some kind of a future in New Zealand. Okay, if you do not have 25.50 per hour, that means you will fall into the lower skill category, and you will be only considered for a 6-month visa. Okay, now this is because if somebody is not earning 25.50, Immigration New Zealand assessment of the situation is that you're not of the skill level that New Zealand requires. So that means you are the lower skill level. So that means they want to be able to do the labor market test often. So the advertising part, which I also mentioned earlier, is, it's called labor market test. If suppose you get 25.50 below 25.50, that means there's an additional requirement where there is something called the work and income, which is the work and income department of New Zealand. They have to confirm that there were no people in that lower skill segment. There were no New Zealanders on their list of people looking for jobs who are unemployed at this stage. There were nobody that could match to the requirement of the employer, and that is why they are hiring a migrant. So that's another part. If you're having a salary less than that, and every 6 months you will have to renew your visa, every 6 months you will have to apply for a new visa, and all these requirements have to be met. Okay, so the moral of the story is, if you have 25.50 and above, it's worth giving it a shot, because it is quite complicated. If you have a lesser you might think, okay, let me at least get a 6-month visa, let me at least buy time. Trust me, it's going to be very difficult to get that category, because it is because of the industry feedback, that there are many New Zealanders who will fit that level, the lower level of jobs, the lower skills of jobs. So that is the reason Immigration New Zealand saying, if you're low skilled, there are enough New Zealanders already. We would like to offer them the jobs so that the unemployment rate is not, increasing. That is the focus over there. If you are getting less than 25-50, then you may have to look at backup options, you may have to look at other options. Don't waste your time. Talk to us when your visa is still valid, when you have 6 months on your current visa, whatever visa that might be. Don't stay under the assumption that, okay, my employer is willing to advertise, my employer is willing to do anything, my employer is willing to support, let me at least get a 6 month visa. Trust me, it's going to be really, really tough to get that visa. Also, don't wait till the last minute. Don't say that next month is my visa is expiring, so now I want to do something about it. Try and work it out in advance. Try and plan in advance to start early. Okay, this is very, very important, because a lot of people apply with only barely 1 month on their current visa, and then what happens is they apply for a visa and then they get onto interim, and unfortunately, more than likely, these visas that are the lower skill level, their visas get declined, and then you can't do anything about it. Then you'll have to leave the country, because on an interim you're not allowed to apply for another visa. And then with the current situation, with the COVID pandemic, you will need to think of something concrete. It's very, very important that you plan your steps from here. If you've got a visa for less than 6 months, or say 6 to 8 months, start thinking about what next. It is very, very critical. If it's required for you to go back into education, it is probably the best time to think about it, because right now a lot of colleges are offering scholarships and discounts, reduced fee discounts for students within New Zealand. So you can take advantage of that. Or if there is any other pathway, maybe you could apply for another job. Maybe and if you're already with another employer and your visa is expiring, suppose you're already on an essential skills and your visa is about to expire in 6 months, but your salary is less than 25-50, please be careful again. Even if your salary is higher, it is best for you to consult, and don't be blindly sure that, oh, you know what, I am about 25-50 and I'm certainly going to get an extension. It might be hard. It may, with the current situation where everybody is trying to keep hold on to their jobs, it's very important that you plan in advance. Okay, please do talk to us. First of all, we do offer a 5 to 10 minute free consultation to give you a gist about your situation. But if we need to give you a thorough plan, then we will need to book you in for a consultation. So please do talk to us. Please understand, immigration advice is important. You will, and it's a paid professional advice. It's not free information, because this is customized and it's about your future. When you've already spent $35,000 or $40,000 on your education, you should not hesitate spending another 300, 400 or $500 for good advice. Don't necessarily have to come to us. You can go to any other advisor. We'd love if you can come to us, but please do take proper advice before you go ahead as to what your plan is. We are very good at what we do, so I would recommend you to talk to us. You can call us on our toll-free number 0800 696977 in between the office hours, that is 9 to 5. We've got the other great thing is we've got 3 licensed advisors now. Actually, we are 4, including Arun. We are 4 licensed advisors here in New Zealand. That's myself, Arun Jacob, who's the director of the company. A lot of you would know. Then it's myself. I'm the senior licensed advisor, and we've got Virginia, who's here based in Hamilton. She's an ex-immigration officer who worked with the New Delhi office. She's got her license. Congratulations, Virg. So she's our newest licensed advisor. And then we've got Namrata Verma, who was also the acting immigration manager at New Delhi office. And then she's working with us as a licensed immigration advisor. She's based out of Christchurch. So now we have presence also in the South Island. Besides that, we've got 4 licensed advisors in India. Okay, all ex-INZ officers who have now got their license. There are 3 in India and 1 in Malaysia. Too many of them, difficult to keep count. So we have a good bunch of 8 licensed immigration advisors, and no matter what your problem is, we will figure out a solution. Okay, so talk to us. Right, so enough of talking. I think 15 minutes I've taken, and I've I see there are a few comments and stuff. So let's get into answering the queries. Before I start off, there are some ground rules of this session. Number one, if you're an AJV client, please start by saying you're an AJV client and give me your advisor's details. If you are say you're not an AJV client, then I would recommend you to give me your number. All those questions with a phone number attached only I will be able to answer, and that's you. To get something, you give something. So, and we are not people who will come at you and chase you and give you sleepless nights. Yeah, we are good people. We will call you and assist you with whatever your needs are, your requirement in terms of immigration is, and yeah, and if you don't want to talk to us, you tell us up front and we'll stop bothering you. Yeah, that's how it is. We're good people, right? So I'll just wait for people to start adding their numbers. So I'm just going to read out a few comments that have already come in. So there's someone who's called Butterflies who says, "Good evening, Mary. Good evening." Sorry, I don't know what your name is, but someone also comments on my new haircut. Thank you. Yes, I've got some new, fresh look today. I wanted some change, so I just got this done. So yeah, yes, it is my fresh new look. Thank you very much for that. So then we've got O'Neill, one of our very, very dear clients from Wellington. He says, "Hi Mary, haven't seen you for a long time lately." Yes, I have. I've kind of taken a backseat because we've got a lot of work happening here in the Hamilton office. My amazing colleagues, the girls from India, have taken over the stage in terms of the live sessions. We seniors are focusing on so many other things. You would see a lot of new videos that are coming in. So we seniors are focusing on that. We're looking at also with the current scenario with COVID, there's a lot of changes within the country and the needs of people here. So we've been a bit busy, O'Neill. That's it. I'm not retired. Don't worry. So yeah, it's great to do these sessions once in a while. Yeah. Okay, next we've got Jagat Sanjeeva who says, "Hi I'm Jagat from Sri Lanka. Is there any opportunity for caregivers?" Jagat, please share your contact number so that I can answer your question. Thank you. Nova Susan Isaac says, "Good evening, ma'am. You're looking great." Thank you, Nova. And yes, we are yet to have a chat about the questions that you had. So give me a call whenever you'd like and we can discuss. Yeah. Right. Sandeep Chahua says, "Do you have any Indian chef vacancy?" Sandeep, sorry, we are not a placement agency. However, New Zealand does require chefs. Chefs and the long-term skill shortage. You might want to consider a pathway coming into New Zealand. Do share your number with us so that we can discuss this further. Thank you. Gaurav Kasania says, "I wanted to know about Fiteria in Auckland. How's the college and placement? I've selected postgraduate diploma in management level 8 course. I have 5 years experience in HR field." So this is a query from our YouTube stream session. So my team has pasted that here. So Gaurav, first of all, Fiteria Polytechnic is actually based. The main campus is not based in Auckland. So this is one of the campuses here in Auckland. So they do have good postgraduate programs. Now, when it comes to quality of the program, all government polytechnics in New Zealand are great because they are government owned and managed. So their course curriculum and everything is obviously approved by NZQA, which is the New Zealand Qualifications Authority. Likewise, all other courses that are offered for international students are approved by the NZQA. Now, when it comes to placement, that's one thing none of New Zealand institutions do. So I must tell you that scholarships and placements, these are two things that are not outrightly offered to international students. I know that a lot of countries do, promote placements quite a bit, but then New Zealand and the way we have structured in our recruitment processes, placements usually are not offered. However, there are some courses that do have, say, an industry, project and stuff like that, where you work with the industry and gain some exposure. Yeah, so it is a good program. We have had many students who've studied in this course. The course curriculum is also quite good, and it's at the end of the day, it's all the government polytechnics are and good in quality. You should focus on the papers, which is the most important aspect of selecting a program. Yeah, it's not the campus, it's not the college, it's not the ranking plays no importance here in New Zealand. What's more important is the papers and the skills that you gain. So if you've got 5 years of experience in HR, then I would recommend you to do something more generic here in New Zealand and not focus just on HR papers, because you need to have a wide scope of opportunities when you're coming here to New Zealand for a job. You can't just stay in one area and say, I'm going to only look for jobs in that area. Having high levels of communication skills is also very important to find a job, and that's what, if you've got good English and you've got the skills, you will do well. That's what we have seen in the past. Okay, so all the best. My team will reach out to you and connect with you. I think you're already in touch. Are you already in touch with one of my team members? I'm not really sure, but my team will reach out to you and assist you with whatever queries you have. Okay, right. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, Nusrat Asim says, wow, new look, looking awesome. Thank you very much. Then we've got Sunny Motwani who says, tourist visa can be converted in work permit. Sunny, you have not given me a number. I will wait for you to give us your contact number so that I can answer your question. Thank you. Next question we have got is Vigila Jakumar. This query is a YouTube query from, I think this is from Singapore. Jay Kumar says, I intend to do a postgraduate diploma. Just a sec. Sorry. So I just had to, there was a bit of, noise in the background. So I just had to, sorry about that, guys. So, Vijay Kumar says, I intend to do a postgraduate diploma in IT level 8. What kind of a visa will my spouse and kid get in this case? Will it be a work permit or a visitor visa? Okay. So, Jay Kumar, yes, a postgraduate diploma, is a good program. However, you may not be able to accompany your spouse and kid on a work visa. So, yes, they can accompany you on a visitor visa. However, your child will also get a visitor visa. So, your child will not be able to study in New Zealand. So, it's ideal that your wife also gets a work visa so that your child can get a student visa at a domestic fee status. Okay. You could do a master's program, a level 9, which will be a 1.5 year program, where your spouse will be eligible for a work visa provided meets all the requirements. And then your child will also get a student visa. Okay. So that would be my recommendation. My team will reach out and assist you with that. Please do connect with them. Yeah. Next, we've got, is there any opportunity for food technology? Ruben Abraham asks. He's given us his number as well. Yes, food technologists are in the long term skill shortage for New Zealand. There are plenty of job opportunities here in New Zealand. However, there is no direct pathway for you to come in and look for jobs. You will have to, say, take a study pathway. If you've got enough of experience, you could possibly look at a skilled migrant category job search visa, which will take some time. But now with the borders being closed anyways, you might want to apply for that as well. So if you do have many years of experience, Ruben, do share your CV with our team, and they reach out to you. Do share the CV so that they can assess and tell you whether if you can take the skilled migrant category pathway or not. Yeah, so that's how it is. But I would say certainly you should consider a future in New Zealand, because food technologists do extremely well here. Yeah. Okay, next question is from Sunny Motwani, who says tourist visa to trucking. I'm not really sure what you mean, Sunny, but I'm going to wait for you to clarify that with your phone number. Somebody, I'm very poor with Hindi, so the name is in Hindi. And he says, "Good morning." And he says, "So I'm just going to be there." I don't know what it meant, but I think he just wants to say he's just going to sit and watch this session. Okay. Next, we've got Charit, who says, "Student visas, when will the border open in New Zealand?" Charit, can you please share your number so that I can answer that? Anyways, I mean, but it's a common question, so I'm going to still answer that for you. So, Charit, the student visa, right now, we don't know. To be honest, we don't really know when the borders will open. We wish we had a much clear answer or a better answer, but we are all in state of limbo. We don't really know. We are hoping after the elections, which are scheduled to be in November, we will get some more clarity, because the government is busy right now, working on various other things, and more importantly, with the resurgence of, the COVID, we are all dealing with that right now. So, opening the borders is probably the last of their priorities, the least of their priorities at this stage. We will need to just wait and see how this goes, and yeah, and keep watching our channel. We will let you know when there is an announcement on that. Thank you. Rishu Anand says, "I'm on a work visa, essential work visa. I'm a registered nurse in aged care. Applied for EOI in the month of May 2020, but as immigration is not taking EOI, my English test expired this month, unfortunately. So, what should we do now? Should I give the test again or wait?" Okay, Rishu, this is very important. See, this is exactly why we've been posting a lot of leads and, ads and stuff, telling people not to wait and apply for EOI. So you should talk to us. I think you should work with us. My team will reach out to get some information from your issue. And team, if you're watching, the New Zealand team, can you please contact Rishu and get the information so that we can help her with her EOI situation? Yeah. So look up for Rishu's number. She has posted it. Thank you. Next question, we've got Smita Agnihotri. Smita says, "I've received a culturally arranged marriage visa with AJV and visa expired in June. Could you please let me know as what is the way going forward for getting to NZ? My partner is NZ PR." Smita, so we will have to, look into this, because um, you have not given us your phone number, and I'm not very sure about if you are our client. So if you're already working with one of us, you should talk to your advisor. But if you're not, I would, you say that you're an AJV client. Okay. So I think it'll be good if you can have a chat with your advisor, whoever had assisted you with your application. Okay. Else, share your number and we will reach out to you. Okay. Because we will need to understand what your situation is. With the borders being now closed, obviously we can't do much. But because your visa expired in June, we'll have to see what other options you have. Okay. So have a chat with your advisor who already assisted you with your visa, and we'll see what we can do. And if you're our client, we'll already have your details. So that's great. Okay, so next we've got Jagat Sanjeeva, who says, "I'm Jagat Sanjeeva from Sri Lanka. This is my number." Jagat, I'll just go back and scroll and give you the response to your question. Okay, so you say you want to know about the opportunity for caregivers. Yes. So Jagat, at this stage, New Zealand has seen a lot of, what do you say, requirement and jobs also for people in the area of caregiving. A lot of them recently also, there was a policy change where caregivers were moved up from skill level 4 to skill level 3. So there is a lot of requirement. Okay, but there are a lot of people getting into those roles as well. So if you are keen to look at a career here in New Zealand, you obviously will have to take the student pathway, and there is an amazing program that does have a clear. We have seen nearly a 96% a job guarantee for people in the area who have done that course in community health and support. So you should talk to my team. My team will advise you about this program. We will assess also your background and to see if that's the right thing for you to do. So when my team does reach out to you, please do share your information and discuss this information with them. Yeah. Thank you. Right, next question. We've got Adil Ahmed who's asking about EOIs. Adil, can you please share your phone number with us so that I can answer that question for you? Thank you. We've got Vicky. He says, I'm currently working on a US on OPT. I'm curious to know about immigration options for New Zealand. I'm a civil transportation engineer. That's an amazing role to be in. If you're looking at migrating to New Zealand, please do send us a CV with your, an email with your CV and of your spouse if you're married to info@ajvglobal.com. This is not just for you, Vicky, but anybody else who's looking at migration to New Zealand. If you're based overseas, please do send us your CVs for assessment. It's to info@ajvglobal.com. My team will reach out and take you forward in terms of the assessment process. Thank you. We've got next Nandar Anug who says, since the international students unable to come since last July intake, will universities and NZ only accept students from previous intakes for upcoming intakes, let's say Feb, or is there any chance new applications will be accepted? Very, very good question. I say I don't have the answer for that. Again, the schools are also unsure at this stage. As far as I know, that many offers are being given right now. Many of the schools are still accepting admissions, Nandar. So why don't you share your number with us so that I can, elaborate a little bit more, and we can see what course you need or where do you need to study in. Okay. Thank you. Nusrat Asim asks a question, but you're not providing your phone number. Can you please do that? Thank you. We've got Reese Stephen, one of our clients. Hi, Mary. I'm an AJV client. Of course, I know who you are, Reese. So, Reese says, it's been a long time. Hoping you are doing good. The new hairstyle looks great. Thank you very much. Thanks to the entire AJ team for giving us the opportunity to migrate to the beautiful country. Be safe during these times and convey our regards to Arun and Virginia. I will definitely pass on your regards. Thank you, Reese, and I hope you and Neha are doing well. Lockdown in Auckland may not be the best thing that's happening, but I'm sure it's the best thing for you guys there with the community spread happening. Stay safe and give us a call and say hello sometime. Yeah. Okay. So the next question we've got is Hyagik Mohan. He's given us a number. Says, what is the future of tourism and hospitality in NZ for getting residency, or what else do you recommend? Okay. Yagik, I definitely there is good future for tourism and hospitality in New Zealand. If you're asking me about the current, I'd say not great, but there is a certain future. Because if you look at it this way, tomorrow when the borders reopen, when COVID situation eases off, when there is the vaccine, when there is a herd immunity in place, um, you will see that more and more people will prefer to come to New Zealand on a tourist visa to visit the country to see. Because over this past few weeks, over the past few months, we have done well. We have done well in the way we responded to the virus. We have shown the strength as a country, by being together, and the stability in terms of our economy, stability in terms of the government. All that has given a lot of brownie points, and not just that, it's one of the topmost destinations that people really want to visit. It could be both for visit or for travel, or travel and tourism, or it could be for just businesses to want to come and set themselves up and stuff like that. So the future for the country is very, very good, because more and more people are considering New Zealand. Once the border restrictions are lifted around the world, you will see more and more tourists traveling into the country, and I think people who missed going on holidays will all flock at once. So it's probably it's not the best time for us, for the industry, for tourism and hospitality, even the immigration industry in which we are in, the education and migration. However, we clearly see that there is a good future. There is a good future for the tourism and hospitality industry. So if you're in that area, do you want to know what else? Have a chat with us. It's important, because you're based here in New Zealand. We need to level up and understand what's happening with you, and what's your skills, where have you been, how long you've been in the country. So we will need to spend some time talking to you about it. So best is to talk to us. My one of my team members will reach out, and we will discuss the details, and we'll see how we can help you. Okay, that's how we will do, because you're based here in New Zealand. That's the approach we will take. Okay, that's next. We've got, it's a YouTube query. It's Puvar Puvarsanan. He says, when did send visa application process? Sorry, I really didn't understand what your sentence means. But if you're asking, is visa applications being accepted from offshore, I'd say the answer is no. If that's what your question is, I'm sorry. Yeah. Um, the next question, Yash comes back and asks. Sorry, Yash is somebody else. Yash says, "What about student visa? Any update?" Yash, please give us your phone number. Give us a little more information, and so that I can answer that for you. Thank you. Okay, we've got another YouTube question, which is Ankit Koirala, who says, "Excuse me, I'm from Nepal and would like to be any way your institution can help would be clients like me. I mean, from countries where you do not have a branch or a direct access." Ankit, are you related to Manisha Koirala by any chance? Okay. Yeah, so right. So yes, we do service clients from across the globe. We are not based in we have only based in about six or so locations, but we've got clients from 20 odd countries. So that we have service borders really don't mean anything to us, because we are completely online. We are very you know flexible in the way we work with our clients from different parts of the world. So if you are based in Nepal, my team in India will service you, because that you are in the same time zone as them. So we have kind of worked it out nicely, where we are available for most of the working day of people in different regions. Okay, so don't worry about it. And we've had many Nepali clients who have done extremely well. So please do talk to us, and we will assist you. I don't think it's no problem, even if you're in a different country. Okay, so my team will reach out and they will say hello to you and share the information, and assist you in whatever manner you need. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we've got another question. Joe's Jijo, but has not given me full his phone number. So I'm just going to ask Josh to come back and give his phone number so that I can answer his question. And your question seems very interesting, Josh. You'll have to come and please type in your phone number too. Thank you. Okay, next question. Again, a YouTube query which says, Parshu Radha says, you're already talking to one of my colleagues, which is Fatima. So, okay, so it says, I've joined live just now. How positive um, you're on border relaxation for international students by 2021 quarter one, or at least by July. AJV has my contact. I was contacted yesterday. Thank you, Parshurada. First of all, I don't really know about I mean, what is there in this world for us right now than to be positive? Tell me. We have to stay positive. And we being in this core business of education and migration, we have to stay positive. Our business runs on the borders being open, so we are staying positive, and we know that the country, New Zealand as a country, also needs visitors, also needs students. So we are staying positive. But however, if the pandemic situation does not settle down, not just in New Zealand, but in receiving countries like, say, the South Asian countries and the Far East. If we don't have the situation controlled in those countries, there's a possibility that we will not be able to open borders. Okay, because the situation again climbed up to 200 odd numbers here in New Zealand. Active cases is because of some overseas virus transfer. So that's the we're trying to control that, and we open the borders, it'll become uncontrollable. That's what the government doesn't want. Okay, we want the safety of the public first. So We are staying positive, well, but then at the end of the day, it's the decision of the government. We will have to just wait and see how that works. Okay, thank you. Yagik Mohan, he comes back and says, so if the future of for hospitality is not bright for a few years, what about masters do you recommend to go for? Yagik, we will have to talk to you one on one on this. I cannot answer this question on the phone. I don't even know what your background is. I don't know what your qualification is. I don't know what future are you expecting. So please give let's have a chat. I think you have shared your number, so let's have a chat and see how this works. I mean, we need to understand what kind of a career we have. Some of our students have, not our students, some of the students have come back and have started working on their student visas, so we're hoping to assist them on that. Yeah, thank you. So we'll have a chat and we'll discuss this further for you. Okay, Jijo, thanks for your number. I'm just going to answer that question for you. What is the scope of construction engineers? I've done a diploma in civil engineering with 6 years of experience. I have a degree as well, but the flaw being, as I was working full time during my graduation, I have a lot of backlogs. I'm not in a position to study, recommend. What do you recommend? Okay. 6 years of experience and a bachelor's degree, you need to have a chat with my team. So why don't you just send us an email, Josh? Please email to info@ajvglobal.com. We will assess to see if you fit in for the requirement for a direct job search visa under the skilled migrant category. If you don't, then we will advise you alternate options, which is more than likely the student option, but it's good for you to at least get that assessment done from our advisors. So send us your CV to to info@ajvglobal.com and we will get back to you. Thank you. Okay, we've got Akhil Mohandas who says, I'm a logistician, um, having 5 years of experience with MBA serving in shipping company. If I wish to migrate in New Zealand, should I start from scratch? Is there growth for logistics and supply? Thank you for your phone number, Akhil. Yes, logistics, supply chain managers are in the long term skill shortage list here in New Zealand. However, it's not a straightforward pathway. Okay. So there are a bit of complications when you get into logistics and supply chain. However, there are a lot of jobs available in that area. So you should talk to us and we will be able to advise you on that further. So thanks for giving a number. One of my team members, when they reach out to you, they will guide you through properly, understand your profile, and assist you as to what kind of future will you have in New Zealand if you do consider to migrate here. Okay. Joe's Chijo, thanks for your email address. It'll be great in the meantime if you can directly send us your CV and of your spouse, so that my team can assess it for you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly scroll through our YouTube comments to see if we missed something. My team is doing an amazing job of pasting it here, but I'm just going to quickly check as well, just in case. Some of you have not given us your numbers, especially somebody called Musafir. And who else? Harshil. So if you guys have not given us your number, please. Harshil, you've got a very interesting question. You have to give me your phone number for me to answer that. Thank you. Hi, Anirudh. Thank you for your comment. Anu Chandy also has asked a question, but not, yeah, you've given us your phone number, so I'm just going to answer that for you, Anu. So Anu says, hello, ma'am, what is the scope of doing masters in applied management? I, in fact, started off the session with the question around management courses. Yes, there's a good scope. Again, when you say scope, it's a very, what do you say? It's very difficult for me to say what is the scope for management. Yeah, management is available in every industry. The roles are available. But whether you get a job or not in a management role will be based on your skills, will be based on your background, will be based on your qualifications, your work experience, your understanding of the business here and the industry here. All these factors play very, very importantly when you apply for a role. So I have seen people with some years of experience doing extremely well and getting the salary which is required to apply for residence and everything, okay, with after doing a Master of Applied Management program. So it is about having the right combination of skills and um, exposure. Yeah, you should come with a wide range of skills to be able to find a job, especially in the area of business and management. Yeah, I have seen a lot of people getting discouraged by others here in New Zealand, saying, "Oh, why are you coming on a business program?" and things like that. But I have so many of my clients who've applied for resident visas after getting a job in the area of business. So, well, I think it also depends on the quality. So we work with really, really high quality clients, and all our students are doing extremely well. We take pride in that. So it's about making the right choices. First of all, make the right choice of working with the correct advisor, knowledgeable advisor who will give you the right options. Work with us. We will assist you with that, Anu. And yeah, and then we're there to assist you after you're here in New Zealand. That's the most important thing. Once you come here in New Zealand, you need somebody, to a sounding board, so, or anybody to keep consulting constantly. That is what a lot of people who come from other agencies to New Zealand complain, saying, we didn't have somebody that we can pick up on the pick up the phone and talk to, whereas all our AJV clients get unlimited immigration advice while they're still looking for jobs. When there is a policy change, they are lost, they're in middle, they're struggling with their course, they're struggling with any other kind of problems. We are there to say hello, we are there to support. You have to work. It's not important that you have an advisor who you can knock on the door there in your home country. It's important that you have someone here. This is more important, not on that end, which is just a 6 months process. Your future is here. So find an advisor in the country where you're seeking a future for. That is more important, because you need somebody to support you here on the ground. Okay. So yeah, work with us, Anu, and I'm sure you will at least take the right path towards your future here in New Zealand. Right. Okay. We've covered all the questions on YouTube, and okay, so there's some questions. So all those who are just waiting, watching, I would recommend you to please go ahead and start posting your questions. It'd be great to answer them, because yeah, we're almost at the end of the session. Daniel Owusu asks, are there opportunities for chemical engineers? Daniel, can you please share your details so that I can answer the question for you? Thank you. Okay, have I met? Sorry, I've just kind of answered everything. Let me just check. Okay. Right. Okay, looks like we've covered pretty much everything. We don't have too many viewers though, but good questions, all those who have come in. Thank you so much, guys, whoever have taken the time to come in and ask these questions. Really, they've had some good turnout today. Okay. Right, some more questions coming in. Let's get on to that. Right, Johnny's Saini says, what's the future of New Zealand for a staff nurse? Johnny, can you please give your number? Prashant Singh, you've just come in. Please give your number. We've got Renish Nair, who's given his number. Thank you very much. She says, hi, good morning, Mary. Myself, Renjish Nair, sorry. Have a background in the field of administration for 10 years and planning to come down to New Zealand. So, which course will be apt for me? Applied management or business administration? Interesting. I don't understand the difference because in New Zealand it's pretty much the same. It doesn't really make a lot of difference because it's both in the area of business and administration. So what you will be required to do is look at the papers. It doesn't really matter if it's business administration or applied management, they're both the same. What you should do is focus on the papers that are being delivered The papers will give you the direction as to what skills you will gain and eventually the jobs attached to that. Okay, Ranjish. So, yeah, so when you connect with my team, they will kind of assist you with that and they will help you. Okay. Okay. Let me check if there is any other questions from my team. Anything posts? Okay. Okay, we don't seem to have any other. No, my team is not telling me anything, so it looks like I'm doing well. Okay, so Prashant has also given us his number, so let's answer his question. Prashant says, I did BTech in 2008 and MTech in 2020. In mid time, I did job, but I don't show salary status because I took my salary in cash. Um, so what is your question, Prashant? I'm sorry, I'm trying to. Oh, you want to do PhD in New Zealand? Okay. Prashant, doing PhD, getting an admission into PhD program is probably one of the toughest admission processes for New Zealand. Since you've given us your number, my team will reach out and give you that information. Please do connect with them. But the most important thing for you to do PhD is a research topic, and I hope that is ready. Okay, if you've got the research topic, probably you could, because now you're waiting and there's nothing much happening. You could possibly look at a PhD option. So my team will talk to you, and you could, explore that side of things. Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Thanks for giving me a number. You say you want to apply for a student visa, so you can apply for your student visa. So I don't know if you have any other follow up question on that. So just space that if you do, we'll certainly assist you. We'll be happy to assist you with your student visa application. Thank you. Um, Simar Pal Singh Bedi says, Hi, I'm Simar from India. When can we expect EOI for SMC opening for candidates outside New Zealand? Simar, at this stage, EOIs are not being accepted for people. Any kind of applications from offshore applicants is not accepted. However, the SMC expression of interest is going through. So I think, however, when you're applying from overseas, it's much more complicated. It's not straightforward when it comes to the point system. You might feel, it's just about $530. Why don't I just apply and see? Even if you apply, there is a good chance you'll get the invitation. But what is more important is the documentation for the second stage of the process. It will, we have seen a lot of times, even people within New Zealand, that they have claimed points in the wrong areas, like mainly in areas like work experience, previous work experience, sorry, qualifications, and these things where they technically don't qualify for. Okay. So you will have to go through an advisor before making an application. So my team will reach out, have a word. As I said, when you're taking a step to go abroad, it's very important that you have a budget in mind and just don't wing it. You can't say, let me try. Yes, as I said, you will even get an invitation, but you might not end up getting your resident visa after spending about, say, $5,000 in total. So you need to be sure. So you need to be at least 60% sure that you will progress into the second stage. So have a word with my team and they will assist you with this. Thank you. Daniel, thanks for sharing your number. You say that you've graduated in chemical engineering, 2 years experience in Ghana. You'd like to move as a skilled worker. So, Daniel, please share your CV with your spouse, if your spouse's CV, if you're married, to info@ajvglobal.com, and my team will assess and get back to you on that. Thank you. And you're presently in South Korea. Okay, that's fine. No problem. Doesn't really matter. As I said, wherever you are, send us your email and we will, we will look into that. Thank you. Next, we've got. Sorry, somebody's calling me when I'm on a live session. I'm surprised. Okay, it's a Facebook call. Yeah. Okay, so we've got Sijo Sakaria who says, Hi Mary, AJB student here. Just wanted to have your insights on the proposed changes for residency from temp work visas in 2021. The update says for any new temporary visas, they will need to have 200% of the median wage and at least 2 working year experience in the country to be eligible for residency. So just curious if any temporary visas mean temporary visa process next year. I don't know what you're talking about. This is new information for me. Let me just check. Give me a second quickly. I will just shout out to my team member and see if there is been a change. Verge, hi. Can you quickly check and see if there was a change in the policy announced yesterday or about median wage being 200 for temporary work visas? Could you please quickly check on the, yeah, could you just check? While I'm on this session, I would like to clarify that. Sijo, um, I have not heard of this kind of a policy change. I'm surprised. So we're going to quickly check anyways, in case there has been any updates, okay? Um, Okay, Johnny says, thank you. He will contact the team. You're welcome, Johnny. Okay, so we're in the last 4 minutes of the session. Before we log out, let's find out this mystery what Sijo has just mentioned. Whether there has been any announcement on that. Yeah. Okay. And it's almost weekend, isn't it? Tomorrow is Friday, and then it's a weekend. So yeah, I hope all of you have made good plans of staying at home. We in New Zealand, we're still on about. We are able to move around, except for Auckland. We are able to move around quite a bit within the other parts of the country. We are at level 2, alert level 2. So, well, we'll just wait for Virginia to update, and then I can wrap up the session. If anybody else has any more questions, please feel free to ask now. Else, my team will connect with you. Okay. 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 Okay, great. Thanks. So Virginia tells me there is nothing on the immigration website. Sijo, then you will have to now come to me with evidence of where you've seen and what you've seen. Okay. I'm sure you have my number, or you can call us on 0869 to 696977. Okay. Just give us a call. You have all our numbers. You can just give us a call. And so I just quickly googled 200% what you're talking about. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so there is definitely some confusion that you have, Sijo. Okay, right. Sorry. So I just got that. I got what clarification Sijo was asking. Okay, Sijo, we're talking about the policy change which was announced around this was applying for residence under talent accredited work visa and long term skills visa. So this is not for all the other categories, especially essential skills or for post study. So this is basically for this high category of residence visas, which is talent accredited residence visa and the long term skill shortage list visa. So I'm just going to paste this for you. Please don't get confused. I think this is another mistake that a lot of people do is you over analyze. You kind of take everything and use a microscope and start analyzing it. Cjo, you'll have to stop doing that, number one. Second is you're an AJV student, right? Pick up the phone and talk to us. That's why we are here. So pick up the phone and talk to us to understand what these changes are. You don't have to sit down and analyze this yourself. Okay, it's not for you to analyze. We go through a course, we sit down and study a program just to be able to do these things, to be able to support you and guide you and give you the advice. And you have the advantage and the upper hand of working as an AJV client working with us. Okay, so pick up the phone and talk to us. That's my alarm ringing saying it's time up. um, But yeah, so I'll look forward for your call, Cito. But otherwise, it was a great session. Thank you for all of you to come in. It's quite early in a lot of other countries, but you have come in online. Thank you very much for watching this session. Please like and share with your family and friends. And if you do have any questions, do send us an email to info@ajvglobal.com. Or if you're based within New Zealand, you can always pick up the phone on us on a toll-free number 0800 696977. Thank you very much for this amazing session. Kakiteano. See you next week.